From being a young player debuting for Manchester City to getting his first international call-up not long ago, Phil Foden, a maestro with the ball, is one hell of a baller. The man wears the number 47 on the back of his shirt, an actual hitman. He's the cam you call when you want to get a job done on the pitch. But there's still so much we don't know about Phil Foden, aka Agent 47. Well, to help you out, here are 12 things you didn't know about Phil Foden. If there's one thing you didn't know about this kid, he can't get enough football. Various films have emerged over the years of Foden playing football on the streets of Stockport while being committed to City. The young man is so obsessed with football that it's definitely in his DNA. Consider a lab testing his blood and discovering small particles of football. How amusing would that be? Lockdown was especially difficult for Foden, who had been reminded of his obligations by the city last month after being photographed playing football with public members on Formby Beach. His body yearned to touch a ball, despite being told to stay home in his lavish surroundings. Perhaps Foden has been cursed by a witch and transforms into Shrek whenever he isn't playing football. He's a footballer, so it's only natural that he's hooked on the game. If his obsession with the ball surprised you, you'd be surprised to learn that Pep Guardiola dubbed him the most talented player he's ever seen. Guardiola is Foden's biggest supporter. In July 2019, he called Foden the most talented player I've ever seen. Remember, this is the guy who coached Lionel Messi for 4 years. Imagine teaching Messi and telling yourself that Foden is the most gifted player he's ever seen. If there is one thing we know about Guardiola, it is that whatever he touches turns to gold. Who knows? Agent 47 might win up to 7 Ballon d'Ors. That would be incredible if he did, since no English player has that many. Guardiola's crush on Foden is insane, and he virtually adores the man. Some claim he considers Foden to be family. Regarding family, Guardiola adores Foden, but Foden loves his family even more. He adores his family so much that at the age of 18, he purchased a £2 million property for them. Foden, then 18, purchased a £2 million property for himself and his family, because he was keen to keep his close-knit family together, according to the Daily Mail in October 2018. Foden relocated his family from Stockport's Edgeley to Manchester's Bramhall. Yes, Foden became a member of the affluent young gang when he began chasing large checks with Manchester City. As a result, he could lift his family out of the trenches. A kind gesture from such a young man. Let us say that Foden was generous enough to impregnate a young woman while purchasing a house for his family at 18. A good shot both on and off the field. Yes, Foden became a parent when he was 18 years old. Foden became a father just months after purchasing the home when his childhood sweetheart Rebecca Cook gave birth to their son, Ronnie. Do you wonder if he'll grow up to be a sharpshooter like his father? We're not sure, but we are certain that the lad's bills will be a major motivator for Foden to continue scoring goals. Just kidding, but he has a mouth to feed, so he needs to play well. When it comes to reasons, did you know that Foden has always been a huge City fan? That's something you didn't expect to hear. He's probably been monitoring the city's football history, regardless of how much trash they've played in the past. Foden joined City at 8 in 2009 and was already a big admirer of the team. The man spotted an opportunity to get out of the trenches and wholeheartedly chose to go for it. Manchester City was not the powerhouse that they are today, so it's reasonable to say the youngster is a die-hard supporter, and not simply by the sights or grandeur they now stroll about with. Speaking of fan loyalty, Foden's father was reportedly a Manchester United fan from the start. I imagine every day in his house was a Manchester derby. Haha. That's right, Phil Sr. is a Manchester United supporter. If Phil Jr. had elected to support his father's side, he might presently be playing at Old Trafford rather than the Etihad. I doubt he'd support United right now, at least not while they're playing Ten Hag ball. But it would be crazy to see Manchester City and yet support Manchester United. Hopefully, Foden is attempting to influence his father, since he needs to be on the winning side of the champions. When it comes to champions, when you're a champion from an early age, it's only natural to have nicknames. 2 of which are the Baby Shark and the Stockport Iniesta. Yes, Several times, Benjamin Mendy has referred to Foden as the baby shark on social media. At the same time, the Stockport Iniesta seems an appropriate moniker for a player who shares many characteristics with the Barcelona star. Is he, though, like Iniesta? English media and the frequent promotion of English footballers. The person has attributes similar to Iniesta, so I suppose some of it is true. While numerous names recognize him, one in particular is not well known, and that is fisherman. Yeah, Foden is a huge fan of fishing. Foden enjoys fishing in his leisure time when he's not kicking a ball around or caring for his little son. When you're a brilliant young player with a coach like Guardiola and the ambition to be better than a player like Messi, I'm sure you need a break at some time. Foden, on the other hand, enjoys fishing. The young man wants to escape all the strain and stress, and it appears that talking to the fish helps with that. While speaking to fish is something you wouldn't anticipate from a player like Foden, this will completely blow your mind. Yep, Foden holds a Guinness World Record. Yes, Foden's name is in the Guinness World Records book. Why? That's because he's the Premier League's youngest winner. This man is a friggin' legend. Foden, 17 years and 350 days old at the end of the 2017-2019 season, won a winner's medal when City finished the season with a record-breaking 100 points. The young guy bagged something that no one else had ever bagged: young man creating waves. One person is practically obsessed with smashing records when it comes to generating enormous waves. Yep, you guessed correctly, he also has 2 Champions League records. When City fell 2-1 to Shakhtar Donetsk in December of 2017, Foden became the first player born in 2000 to start a Champions League match. He also broke the record for the youngest Englishman to start a game in Europe's top-tier club tournament, surpassing former Chelsea youngster Josh McEachran at 17 years and 192 days. When it comes to Phil Foden, there is always more. The man is always performing the inconceivable and blowing people's minds. Now, consider this. Did you know Foden won the Under-17 World Cup Golden Ball? I mean, I had no idea. Yes, the guy has a lot of accolades, and the Under-17 World Cup Golden Ball is one of them. In 2017, England won the Under-17 World Cup, and Foden was the show star in a team that included Jadon Sancho, Ryan Brewster, and Angel Gomez. Foden, who scored twice in England's 5-2 final victory over Spain, was awarded the Golden Ball at the tournament's conclusion. You know how we have often stated that Foden keeps up so many awards that it is difficult to keep up? I'm sure his trophy case is on the edge of collapse under the weight of all those trophies. One thing you probably didn't know about this incredible boy is that he's also the BBC's Young Sports Personality of the Year. It's not the BBC you're thinking about, but the news. Foden won the BBC's Young Sports Personality of the Year award in 2017, following in the footsteps of Wayne Rooney and Andy Murray. It meant everything, Foden said when asked about being named to the Under-17 World Cup's best player. The guy is such a phenomenal human being, and the best part is that he hardly even talks about it. He bags them and stays silent. Best to say he lets the awards do all the talking. What a freaking star. Talking about stars, there's a lot of money that Benzema spends that we have no idea about. And if you want to learn more, watch this video right here. This is all about football players that went much too far.